Welcome to the Apex News, everyone. I'm your host, Zell, and today we're just going to jump right into all that sharp stuff right after we talk about our highlighted content. Highlighted content this week starts with old Nick Shabazz, and I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag if you haven't seen any of it yet, but you need to go watch the video that's listed right at the top of the show notes, and we'll talk about the show notes in just a second, because everyone needs to be congratulating Nick this week because, well, just go watch the video and find out. The second piece of highlighted content this week is me, Slicey Dicey, that's Brian, and Staza23 got together and finally got the Slicey Dicey podcast episode 2 up and pushed out. And it is linked there in the show notes. And, guys, we're going to be doing even more of this. We're already kind of scheduled for this Slicey Dicey podcast episode 3, so don't miss it. And you can find, now this gets back to the show notes, everything that we're doing you can find at the EpicSnuggleBunny.com. Show notes for now are at the top of the page under show notes. Click show notes, you get taken to the show notes page for the Apex News show notes. In the future, that may take you there for also the Slicey Dicey podcast show notes. We haven't really hashed that out yet, but maybe that'll happen. And on the right-hand side of the page, you can get to the Apex News podcast. You can listen to it right there. You can get to the Apex News. You can watch it right there, if I remember to put the video link in there. And you can listen to the Slicey Dicey podcast right there on the website. So if you can subscribe on iTunes. You can subscribe to the podcasts on Google Play. You can subscribe to them on Podomatic. Or you can watch them on the EpicSnuggleBunny.com. And now that we've got all that out of the way, do be sure and go watch Nick's video. That's Mr. Shabazz's video. Because, well, congratulations are in order and everyone just kind of needs to watch that one. And now for our blog and print news from the cutting edge, we have 15 knives that weigh under 2 ounces. And you guys know I don't usually link those kinds of articles, but the cutting edge has done a really good job, and it's not just click and buy bait. So very nice job over there. Some really good choices in that mess of 15 knives. And BladeReviews.com brings us the Steel Wheel Modus F95-12 review. And some of you may be going, well, you guys already did all the video reviews of that one. Well, yeah, we did, but some people like to see it in print. That's why we always list the print reviews. And KnifeNews brings us traditional knives take a surreal turn. And I'm not going to talk much about that one because you really just need to go see the pictures. Because, wow. Yeah, just go look at the pictures. And then, also from KnifeNews, we have We Knife Company Cultivating European Talent. And they have gathered up BRR Knives, that's Burr Knives. They've gathered up Goody Van Poppel and Ulrich, and I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name because I will butcher it. And they are bringing those 3 designs, 1 as a prototype and 2 as a ready-for-sale item to Blade Show. And you can find out more about that at the Apex News, where we talk about pulling out all the stops for Blade Show 2018. And talks about those same 3 guys, but it also includes the information about how you can get your hands on them earlier, when their release dates are, and pictures, of course. Anyhow, one last thing about that. The Europeans are not the only ones that have new knives that'll be debuting at Blade Show 2018. I hear rumor that there's a U.S. design team that will have one as well, and I'll bring you more on that on the first day of Blade Show. Be watching Instagram throughout Blade Show. That's probably the place that from me, probably from Staza, you're going to get the most information, because for us doing what we're doing, it's going to be the quickest and easiest way. Now, a lot of you have asked how I choose content. And that, my friends, is kind of a tough thing. I need to look something up here right quick. It's not up there. It should be. Well, we can get there in a big hurry because I just want to make sure that I'm giving you the right stuff here. Yes, it is the apextips@gmail.com. That's the first thing you need to do if your content is not showing up at all on the Apex. Probably means I don't know about you. Or it could mean that you're making really long videos that I don't feature on the Apex. But for the most part, it probably means that I don't know about you. And if I don't know about you, well, I don't see your content because I've got this thing set up where I click into it and I see all the newest content over the past about 6 or 7 days. And that's what I do on Tuesday, late Monday into Tuesday. Gather up all that content so that Tuesday evening or Wednesday, I am ready to put the Apex together. And also, if you have new hot content, you're going to want to send it to the apextips@gmail.com as well. And if you have any tips, any news out there that you would like us to have so that we can get it out there for everyone, let us know at the apextips@gmail.com. And one last thing. Writers, if there are any writers out there that would like to put some of their content on the apexnews.com, get a hold of me through the apextips@gmail.com, and we'll talk about what's going on. And moving on along a little bit here, Blade Show. Blade Show is coming fast, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man, do I mean really fast. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I ain't got enough time to do it. That seems like what everyone says right before Blade Show, but hey, it's true. During Blade Show, we is sponsoring my appearance at Blade Show, so I will be spending a lot of time at the Wii booth. Staza 23 is being sponsored at Blade Show by Best Tech, and by being sponsored, I mean they're paying our way. So, whenever somebody offers to pay your way, you take it. Because Blade Show's expensive, friends and neighbors, the travel, the hotels, all that good stuff. And so, anyhow, Staza, I'll be spending time at the Wii booth. Staza will be spending time at the Best Tech booth because they're our sponsors for this year. And if you want to get a hold of us, that is probably the place you're going to find us. I don't know if throughout the whole day, but at least first thing in the morning and probably in the evening, and then in and out throughout the rest of the day. We will be at those respective booths. We are attempting to get together and with also, I believe, with JT's Knife Life and gather up everybody and have, you know, maybe a pocket dump or just a gathering so everybody can meet everybody. Meet and greet, that's what they call those things. And follow the Instagrams. That is going to be the way that we will be able to get a hold of you. The quickest and easiest for us. It's also how you're going to find out all the newest stuff, because I won't be able to take a lot of video during Blade Show. I wish I could, but I just won't. So most of my stuff will go up on Instagram, and we'll have articles, videos, and all that kind of stuff as soon as I get back from Blade Show. But anyhow, just wanted to get that out there. Let me know if you're going to be there. Put it down in the comments. Be sure to follow Zelrick42 and Staza23 over on Instagram so that you can keep up to date with us while we're at Blade Show, and we'll do our best to post somewhat regularly. And now, let's get into video. And in video, we have the EpicSnuggleBunny is going to start things off with the Shirogorov F95NL. Excuse me. Now, that's one you are going to want to watch. Yeah, just anyhow, you want to watch that one. And LuvThemKnives brings up the Reate Valhalla Hallowed. And I'm not even going to try to say the rest of that one. It's just a cool knife you're going to want to go take a look at. And over in the IV with the birds this week, we have a triple play. We've got his and hers Duke's knife, the best flipping Kizer. Huh? Yeah, maybe. And they have the Wii 807 Vaquita Kukri neck knife, and that is pretty cool. That knife is finally coming to production. We had prototypes of it last year at Blade Show, and I remember quite well Frankie falling in love with that thing and having to have it. And Joe, the owner of We Knife Company, wouldn't give it to her to begin with, but finally he relented and Frankie went home with it. And now, because of that, they have the first showing of the 807 Vaquita, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, here in the States, which is pretty cool. And then they round everything out and head for home with the Skaha, version 1 and version 2, North American Arms Folding Perfection. Perfection, yes. Sometimes, you know, the stuff that's supposed to come out of my mouth just doesn't. Anyhow, Blade Centered has a look at the Massdrop Ferrum Forge Gent, made by We. And Kevin Cleary has the Pena Lanny Flipper, the full discussion. And Slicey Dicey brings us the Tuya Knife Bruiser D2 review. That is a cool knife. I happen to know, I've got a review of that this week as well, but I think Stazza may also. But I happen to know that if you want in on the $44.95 pricing that they have on that Bruiser right now, there's only a couple hundred left, and you need to get over there and grab them. If you go to my review or Staz's review or Slicey's review, there's a link back to the Tuya Knife U.S. Distributors website where you can purchase that knife. And I can tell you this, it is not perfect, but man, at $44.95, just like I said in the review, I'd buy a couple of them, use them till I do something that's bad to them, and then get out the new one and use it till it do something that's bad to it, and then I'd probably cry for a little while. Because, really, guys, I think I have, yep, I've got one here on the table. It is that good for that price, even with the problems. Be sure and watch the review before you go buy one, but I'm here to tell you it's a pretty good one. And then he also has the Massdrop Ferrum Forge Gent versus the Kizer Vanguard Dukes. I wouldn't have thought of that one, but apparently Slicey did because it's right here in front of me, and those two knives are a lot more similar than what you might think. That's a pretty good comparison to be looking at. And then Dr. Frankie slithers into the lab coat this week and gives us the Gramoso Rask knife surgery. He calls it Rasky business. And the Shirogorov, my goodness, I can't talk today. Final diagnosis. It's he calls it the Spectator Shirogorov. And then from JT's Knife Life, we have the Hinder XM18. And I am just butchering everything. I can't even read my own notes. Oh my goodness. He has the Hinder XM Slippy Slicer. He says it's a great concept and execution, but not for everyone. And I'd agree with that. Pivots Heads has the Kershaw Link with a PhD score of 20 out of 30. And this week he's got commentary with it. I watched it. You should too. And House of Wisdom. They've got a triple play over there as well with the We 804 Vapor, light and beautiful. The Wisp from We, the classy EDC. And guys, I agree with that one. I've got one of those here on the desk, and that Wisp, man, it is just, well, I like it a lot. And I am pretty sure that House of Wisdom liked it a lot too. And then we have the We Minotaur. Smoothest action ever. I'd agree with that. I do have to give, you know, our guy over there at House of Wisdom, he does some really great reviews. Got a really good voice. And he keeps them really short, which is really, really cool for a lot of you. I do have to give him a little bit of, this week. Because he called it a Minotaur. Now, a Minotaur, M-I-N-O-T-A-U-R, is the half-man, half-bull beast of lore. Now, a Minotaur is Latin. That's M-I-N-I-T-O-R. That is Latin, and it means to constitute a danger or a threat. So, got to be careful on that spelling stuff. It's nailed me a few times, and it'll nail me in the future. But I just wanted to point that out. We did not name the knife after the half bull, half man. Even though it might have been somewhat fitting for the knife, that wasn't their intent. And then from Staza23, we get our dose of knife therapy this week with the Best Tech Goblin versus a Viper Lil. He calls it a battle royale. Grab the popcorn for that one. It's a little long, but well worth it. And then he has awesome stropping innovations from Bastard Strops. And pretty neat stuff there. And you get to see old Nick's mug in that one, so you may want to watch that one just so you can find him at Blade Show. And EDC with Aaron brings us also a wee Minotaur. Says starting 2018 with a win. Full knife review. And Aaron has instituted a new scoring system for his knife reviews that you need to go and watch. I think it's pretty good, but go and watch. Give him some feedback. Let him know what you think of the scoring system. And let him know what you think of the Minotaur as well. And from EDC Gear Reviews, we round things out with him with the wee knives Zephyr and Array. And I said round things out because I always try to skip my own content. And I don't know why I do that. You know, for some of you psychologists out there, there's probably some psychosis for that, right? Where I don't want to talk about my own content for some reason. Well, I'm going to today. I constantly forget it. But right here on the Zelrick YouTube channel, we have D2 and G10. It's a trend looking at the current offerings. And whenever I did that one, I went through our Tuya knives. I went through our Best Tech knives. Even threw in the Rat and D2 and, oh yeah, Steel Will with their cut jack. And the Wii knives. Looking at the D2 knives from the bottom of the pack all the way to the top as far as price goes. And, excuse me, I think it turned out, well, there were several people liked it, so it must have turned out all right. And then we got to look at the Wii Knife Company Wisp. And I actually did what I'm going to call the full Zell review, and I'll probably do a follow-up review at some point on this knife because, well, guys, I like it that much. For that small knife, this is something I haven't experienced in a long time in a knife at right around a 3-inch blade. It's actually 3.2, but thinly hollow ground, just beautiful inlay, great hardware, great action, and it's just, yeah, this is a good one. I know that it's up there in the upper end of the money, but wow, is it good. And also, we rounded things out, and I was looking around here. I don't think I have it up here, with the Massdrop Gent. How does it stack up? Not really a review, just kind of comparing it to a bunch of the other small knives that have shown up all of a sudden. And let me tell you, though, the Massdrop Gent stacks up really well, especially whenever you consider its price. And guys, that's it for the week. I don't have anything left on the little ticker here, so there you go. I hope to see all of you at Blade Show. Like I said, Staza will be in and out of the Best Tech booth because they're sponsoring him. I'll be in and out of the Wii booth. They're sponsoring me. And we hope to see you guys there, and we're going to try to get something together one of the evenings at Blade Show. Meet up in the pit or something and just, you know, kind of do a meet and greet. And guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon account, and I'll see you over at the EpicSnuggleBunny.com. Have a great day, everybody.